Hi, this is Zach with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 28th of June. Starting off with the FTSE 100, where we seem to have been saved from a fate worse than death, in the sense that we're back above the initial June support there at 74.45. Above that on an end-of-day close basis. We've got the chance of hitting that resistance line there from April up to 76.30 as a best-case scenario at the moment, at least, or for the moment. In terms of the RSI, it's quite good that we had lower low for the second half of June, but higher RSI trade, so that is bullish divergence, which actually makes things look rather more healthy than they have done for quite some time. Going on to the DAX, and the DAX in a better place generally anyway, and we have that kind of situation now as well. Rising trend channel there from September, and if you look closely at the chart, you can see there was a gap down last week and a gap higher today, so it's an island reversal, which is tends to be a very positive setup. End of day close above the 50-day moving average at 15,000. Well, basically we're roughly where we are now, 15,960. Should take us back to the main resistance of the last couple of months, 16,300 over the next week or two. On to the Dow, which helped the other indices overnight in terms of its rebound, bouncing off the 50-day moving average and bouncing off RSI 50 as well. So those are two signals that we like. End of day close through 34,000, and that old April resistance line from last year could take this market back up to 34,800, even 900 over the next couple of weeks. Let's hope that finally we have the break, the sustained break through 34,000 for this market. Early back below the 50-day line risks a final test of the 200-day moving average, 32,900, but hopefully with the latest rebound of the 50-day line, that is the downside covered. On to Bitcoin, which is poised rather well at around the $30,000 area. That's a decent place to be, given that it's sort of the highest that we've had over the year. It's 31,400 the peak over the course of June. But the view here is that at least while we're above 30,000 or just below, we could still head up to the top of that rising trend channel from June last year. As high as 35,000 by the end of next month. On the downside, probably the worst we're expecting is a test of the late May resistance around 28,000, maybe down to the 50-day line around 27,200, but hopefully the 28,000 area, the limit of any downside now that we've had our consolidation. Moving on to the stocks, and a stock which I wanted to cover yesterday but thought there wasn't actually much charting material to go by, is Cloudbreak Discovery. So obviously I'm slightly kicking myself now. The reason for not covering the shares is just we basically had a sort of turning on a dime type of price action there, actually rising as I speak. Bullish divergence was the reason that I was looking at it yesterday, but the trend line break that we've had today is the trigger and the break of the 50-day moving average at 0.51, which gives us an initial target here as high as 0.73, best case scenario target maybe over the next couple of months up to 1.1 pence at a March resistance line projection. But the key here is to stay above that 0.5 area, and the main driver, that bullish divergence line, which has actually been in place since May. Stock which looks like it's going to turn around, and it's sort of taking its time at the moment, but looks like it's going to turn around, is Echo Energy, and here we've finally broken that line of resistance there from back in March, and the 50-day line 0.035. Above that, looking for up to 0.09 pence over the next couple of months, and obviously we've got up there. Would be quite a coup for the bulls. Initial target, perhaps if you're not quite so ambitious, would be up to filling that gap down that we had back in April at 0.065. Moving along to a stock which I covered periodically on the basis that it looks like it's trending well. Ironveld, rising trend channel there from August last year, just starting to break a line of resistance which has blocked it over the last 2-3 months, and the 50-day line again, but that line of resistance, the key 0.35, above that looking for 0.5 pence, perhaps as soon as next month, and we want to stay above the 0.33 level on a mid-close basis ahead of any move towards 0.5. Stock which is looking quite nice at the moment, as I suppose most of the shares here are doing so at the moment, is Karelian Diamond Resources. Here we've had a rebound from above the rising 200-day moving average, and if we look back at the chart, we can see that initial target here above 3 pence, which is basically the April resistance area, could be up to 5.5 pence over the next couple of months. Big picture target maybe by the end of the year, something like 7.5 pence, which obviously is rather ambitious, but the setup looks to be reasonably good. Marechale is next, and here a stock which I have also covered periodically, and it seems to be gradually improving. Gap higher today above the 50-day line, and that suggests that we should at least get up to 2.4 pence, and a 1-year resistance line projection from last year. Upside value while we hold above the 50-day line at 1.43. Moving on to a stock which has been in the wars of late, Pensana. Here it's interesting that the market didn't really grab hold of the way that there is big institutional investor at the lower levels, but at least now we're breaking above the 50-day moving average at 28 pence, above that initial target here up to 35 pence hopefully over the next couple of weeks. So this looks as though with that uptrend line in the RSI window and the break of the 50-day line, we should at least get to 35, and after that maybe the shares will resume a proper trend. On to Prospex, and here another stock that after a few months of consolidation looks like it's finally ready to push higher. We've been between, I suppose, 7 and 7.25 and 10 pence for quite a while now, breaking that line of resistance there from April around 8 pence, and above that looking for at least a retest of April resistance around 12 pence, perhaps up to as high as 13 pence by the end of next month. But we really want to see price action above that 50-day line, and want to see the RSI back above neutral 50 to get fully confident that Prospex is ready to go. On to a stock where we've had a few predictions of the upside, and Proteome Sciences first hit the 6.5 pence target and then has now just hit the 8.1 pence target. So it just really leaves the old April 2021 peak near 10 pence as the next place, hopefully by the end of next month, while we hold above 7 pence. Just a few to go now. First is Synergia, which is slowly improving, which is something of a relief. We've broken that resistance line there from back in May, 0.13, and we're looking for 0.22 or even 0.23 as soon as the end of next month. Nice bounces off that rising 50-day line over the course of June. So above that, looking for 0.2 pence plus. On to Tern, which keeps on getting hit by the bears, but shares have bounced back quite nicely today. Looks like they might break that line of resistance there from December around the 4.8 pence level. If we can do that on an end of day or a weekly close basis, it could be up towards the 200-day line and post-March resistance at 7 pence plus by the end of next month. But obviously, bullish calls on Tern tend to be rather punchy and also rather brave, let's say. Speaking of brave, we finish off with Woodbois, which looks like it's put its troubles behind it, or hopefully it has, with today's news. We just nudged at the top of that trend channel. That was our target. Look, basically 0.7 pence plus, hoping maybe for 0.75, but didn't quite get there. Current position is at above a recent support of 0.57, still looking for a 0.75 target, and maybe as a best case scenario over the next month or two, we can break through 0.75 up to filling that gap from April up to 1 penny by the end of next month, or maybe a 4 to 6 week time frame, but only back below 0.57, really delaying the ongoing recovery there. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.